Let's begin with the race for the White House. The general election matchup is now officially set. NBC News projects that both President Biden and former President Donald Trump have won the majority of delegates needed to clinch their respective party nominations. They both won several primaries last night, putting them over the top. This is going to be the first general election rematch in more than half a century. And even though we are nearly 8 months away, the election is already ramping up, and we could see it playing out yesterday during dramatic testimony from the special counsel who investigated President Biden's handling of classified documents. NBC News senior White House correspondent Gabe Gutierrez has the latest.
Joe, good morning. Special counsel Robert Hur was in the hot seat, drawing fierce backlash from both sides. And this morning, the stage is set for the longest general election campaign ever. Overnight, President Biden and former President Trump officially clinched their party's nominations with primary victories in multiple states, setting up a high-stakes rematch in what's expected to be a bitter, costly, and lengthy general election campaign battle.
We're the official nominee of the Republican Party, which is a big deal.
It comes just hours after former special counsel Robert Hur was grilled on Capitol Hill.
We identified evidence that the president willfully retained classified materials after the end of his vice presidency. We did not, however, identify evidence that rose to the level of proof beyond a reasonable doubt.
Hur also defended his assessment that the president would present himself to a jury as an elderly man with a poor memory.
My assessment in the report about the relevance of the president's memory was necessary and accurate and fair.
But Republicans slammed his decision not to prosecute.
Joe Biden broke the law. But because he's a forgetful old man who would appear sympathetic to a jury, Mr. Hur chose not to bring charges.
Democrats blasted him, too, for even mentioning the president's memory.
You understood when you made that decision, didn't you, Mr. Hur, that you would ignite a political firestorm with that language, didn't you?
Congressman, politics played no part whatsoever in my investigative steps.
The classified documents found in President Biden's old offices, his Delaware home, and his garage were all returned. Democrats say that's the main difference between his case and the one involving former President Trump, who's pleaded not guilty to criminal charges for allegedly enlisting others to destroy evidence. Hur pushed back, though, when Democrats claimed his report exonerated President Biden.
You exonerated him. I know that the term willful retention has a... Mr. Hur, it's my time.
The White House insists the report does clear the president.
The conclusion was simple, that there is no case here. The case is closed. It's time to move on.
Republicans want audio recordings from the president's special counsel interview released. The White House says the transcript was enough. All of it as the 2024 presidential campaign ramps up. President Biden will be on the trail later today in a crucial swing state, Wisconsin. Joe?
All right, Gabe, thank you so much. We're learning more details about former President Trump's planned defense ahead of his upcoming hush money trial here in New York. In a court filing, Trump's lawyers say they plan to lean on his attorney's own involvement in those alleged hush money payments made to adult film actress Stormy Daniels. The former president is facing 34 counts of falsifying business records. He has pleaded not guilty to the charges. NBC News Now legal analyst Angela Sanadella joins us now to break it down. So Trump's attorneys say he, quote, lacked the requisite intent to commit the conduct charge in the indictment, but it's not what's called an advice of counsel defense. What should we know about Team Trump's defense here?
Yes, so advice from counsel is a very specific legal defense. It almost acts like a shield if you are ever charged with any criminal charge. And that requires, though, the proving of very specific elements, that you went to your counsel, you asked them for their legal advice on this specific issue, that they said it is perfectly legal what you are about to do, and then you did it. So Trump's team is saying we are not going to go down that road and have to prove every element of that defense, but we're just going to say because this is fraud, and fraud requires intent, President Trump, former President Trump, wasn't really involved in the details, so he couldn't have this intent. It was his lawyers. It's almost similar to the last trial, the civil trial, where he was saying, oh, my accountants kind of took care of it, so I didn't really know what was going on. But it's not specifically this, my lawyers told me it was okay, and so that's why I'm doing it.
So his lawyers should have stopped him is essentially what he's saying, and because they didn't, then he couldn't have had intent.
Yeah, he's saying it was like under his lawyer's purview, so they were just in charge of this. He wasn't involved in the weeds or the details. He didn't necessarily sign off on things because the prosecution in this case has to intentionally prove that he had the mindset, that he intended to commit this crime. For falsifying business records or for any crime that involves any falsification, you have to prove that person knew what they were doing was wrong and explicitly chose to still do it anyway.
So walk us through the prosecution's case here. It's something that we've seen over the last year since he's been charged, but really it's something that's been playing out in the public for years now, right?
Yeah, so the prosecution's charge here is fraud. They're claiming that he gave money, but claimed that it was something else, and it was falsified in the records as claiming that it was legal services, when in reality it was this hush money payment to cover up a payment to Stormy Daniels. So that is, a serious allegation, and it's also one that is somewhat easily proven by the records themselves. So that's why the prosecution here intends to just dump a lot of records and claim, based on these signatures alone, we can prove this intent.
So we are less than 2 weeks away from when this is set to start, March 25th. We know the president would like to see this one delayed. He's saying right now, hey, let's wait till the Supreme Court weighs in on this presidential immunity issue. Is the presidential immunity argument tougher here, considering the alleged actions took place before he was even elected president in 2016?
Yes, that's exactly right. So this presidential immunity issue might only squarely apply to the D.C. case and possibly the Georgia case, because those are acts that happened during the term of his presidency. But in this case, these acts happened when he allegedly was trying to become president, which in that case cannot be considered an official presidential act, in the same way that in Florida, what happened with the classified documents case could be considered happening after he was president.
We're 12 days away from March 25th. How likely does it seem this is actually going to start on time at this point? Is there anything that can really throw off the start time?
I mean, right now the ball is rolling, Joe. We expect it to start on March 25th. At this point, there aren't a lot of Hail Marys left, so we expect it to start on time.
All right, Angeles and Adela, as always, thank you so much. Appreciate your time. Now to a critical vote on Capitol Hill this morning that could decide the future of the social media platform TikTok here in the U.S. The legislation is meant to force owner ByteDance to sell the popular social media app, and it is receiving bipartisan support. Our own Savannah Sellers is there in Washington with a look at what's at stake. Savannah, good morning.
Hi, Joe. Good morning. So the legislation would force TikTok's Chinese parent company to sell it off or face a ban in the United States. At issue here is whether the app poses a national security threat, putting users' personal data at risk.
This morning, Chinese-owned TikTok wading into American politics as Congress is set to vote later this morning on a bill with the potential to ban the wildly popular app if it's not divested by its Chinese parent company, ByteDance, within 6 months. TikTok launching an all-out lobbying effort, encouraging its users to come to its defense.
Save TikTok!
You need to make your voices heard.
Call them and tell them to stop the ban.
Sending influencers, along with its CEO, to Washington, where it has a healthy lobbying operation, and even releasing ads.
TikTok helps me to achieve the mission that God put me on this earth to do.
Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are concerned about the potential for the Chinese government to access the data of TikTok's 170 million plus American users.
This app has the potential of being a mass surveillance tool against the American people.
The U.S. government has said in the past that Chinese companies, including ByteDance, are compelled to share their data with the Chinese government. TikTok has repeatedly denied that ByteDance is an agent of the Chinese government, adding in a new statement, this legislation has a predetermined outcome, a total ban of TikTok in the United States. And lawmakers are also worried about TikTok's influence on young people's mental health. A former Google executive turned critic told 60 Minutes, look no further than how different China's version is.
They show you science experiments you can do at home, museum exhibits, patriotism videos, and educational videos. And they make their domestic version a spinach version of TikTok, while they ship the opium version to the rest of the world.
And there are concerns about misinformation spreading on the app in an election year.
They can make you believe things that are not true.
As the candidates are weighing in, former President Donald Trump has recently signaled opposition to the ban after previously supporting it. The Washington Post reporting that former Trump advisor Kellyanne Conway is defending TikTok on Capitol Hill and that she has told Trump many of his supporters are on TikTok. President Biden, for his part, says he'd sign the bill that could ban TikTok, even as his campaign uses the platform to court voters.
The state of our union is strong and getting stronger.
Now, TikTok says it doesn't believe a divestment deal could be done within a 6-month timeline. And, Joe, we reached out to TikTok overnight about those concerns about its impact on youth mental health and the differences with the Chinese version of the app. We have not heard back, but the company has said in the past that it offers screen time limits for young people. Joe?
All right. Savannah, appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now to Texas, where the chief of the Uvalde Police Department has announced he's resigning next month. Police Chief Daniel Rodriguez made the announcement just days after a report was released, paid for by the city council, clearing his officers of wrongdoing in the 2022 Robb Elementary School shooting. It was one of the worst school shootings in U.S. history, with 19 students and 2 teachers killed. The assistant chief will now become interim chief. Chief Rodriguez was on vacation and not in Uvalde at the time of the shooting. He did not mention the shooting or the report in his resignation. Video of another airline emergency is making headlines this morning. Take a look. A United Airlines flight was forced to turn around mid-flight after a mechanical issue just 10 seconds into the flight. You can see liquid spewing from what looks like the landing gear. The plane did land safely with no injuries. But it comes as a new report revealed that Boeing 737 productions failed dozens of FAA safety audits. NBC News senior correspondent Tom Costello has the latest on that investigation.
The focus for investigators, that terrifying nosedive off New Zealand that injured dozens. Passengers say the LATAM pilot claimed he suddenly lost control of the Boeing 787 when the flight data computers went dark. In 2016, the FAA issued an airworthiness directive for the 787, warning that if the flight control computers are not reset every 22 days, they could shut themselves down, which could result in flight controls that don't respond and a temporary loss of controllability.
Investigators will look at whether the airplane was completely depowered at one point in the last 3 weeks.
Meanwhile, 2 months since that mid-air MAX 9 emergency, sources close to the investigation say Boeing has failed 33 of 89 FAA audits. The FAA confirming it identified non-compliance issues in Boeing's manufacturing process control, parts handling and storage, and product control.
If we see something that requires us to cease production or pull something down, we'll do that.
In an email, Boeing's chief of commercial planes today called on every employee to precisely follow every step of our manufacturing procedures and processes. While in South Carolina, a coroner says former Boeing whistleblower John Barnett took his own life before his upcoming trial against the company. In 2019, Barnett told NBC News Boeing was putting profits ahead of safety.
From day one, it's just all been about schedule and hurry up and just get it done, push the planes out.
In a statement, Boeing says we are saddened by Mr. Barnett's passing and our thoughts are with his family and friends. Under intense scrutiny, the company is calling on every employee to be on the lookout for safety or quality issues and don't be afraid to speak up. Back to you.
All right, Tom, thank you. Time for a check on your morning news now weather. I know I'm not complaining today, but Angie, I think other parts of the country have more of a wintry forecast, right?
They do, and we've just got a very chill 80 degrees on tap in St. Louis. So a tale of two kind of forecasts for the western half of the country versus the eastern half. The spring has arrived in a lot of spots across the Great Lakes, parts of the Midwest. You can see even down to the southeast, we're running way warm for this time of year. Detroit heads to 70 degrees today. I mentioned St. Louis is in the 80s. Even Minneapolis, more than 20 degrees above normal for this time of year. We're going to keep it going a little while longer. Tomorrow, too, we're into the upper 70s in St. Louis. We got 70 degrees on tap for Kansas City. Louisville will hit 76 degrees. In Pittsburgh and New York will be into the low 70s. Now, we'll start to slowly kind of get back to normal here as the week goes on and we head into the weekend. We'll go from the 80s in Richmond on Friday to the 70s for Saturday and Sunday. Still not bad for this time of year. New York, really looking forward forward to the end of the week, temperatures into the upper 60s to mid 60s, but we are back to those 50s by the time Saturday and Sunday rolls around. And a similar story back towards the Great Lakes and parts of the Midwest. We've got upper 60s on tap for Lexington. We head to the upper 50s by the time the weekend wraps up. Overall, though, it has been quite a warm start to March across much of the country, specifically the Northeast and the Great Lakes. We are running way ahead of schedule when it comes to spring. Where you see these red dots, places like Concord, Bridgeport, Buffalo, Muskegon, those are places that had the warmest start to March on record. And where you see all of these yellow dots, well, those are in the top 5 of that same category. So places like Minneapolis, Green Bay, Chicago, all those usual suspects that so far this spring we have been talking about have been running way warm for this time of year. That means that we're starting to get, of course, the plants and the leaves and those first buds coming out early. And in a lot of spots, places like Kansas City, Des Moines, we're running 3 weeks early, 2 weeks early, a little farther south that you go, and even much of the Southeast and into the Southern Plains, we're running about a week early. Few and far between are we running late, behind schedule. That's just not the case. And in places like Missouri and Iowa, this is one of the earliest springs that we've seen on record. And that means a couple of things when it comes to, of course, one of our favorite times of year in Washington, D.C., the cherry blossoms. This was yesterday. What you see on that photo are the buds starting to come out. That means, no surprise, with these warm temperatures, a warm winter on record, we're going to continue to see these buds develop, and quite quickly. We've already seen them go from stage 1 to stage 3 in just 6 days. That is the fastest on record, at least in the past 20 years. The typical kind of bloom time frame is early April. You'll notice that the earliest they ever bloomed was way back in 1990, and the latest is about mid-April. That happened in 1958. But this year, we're looking at the peak to be about March 23rd to March 26th. The average, as I mentioned, April 6th. But, Joe, the last 20 years, no surprise with, of course, human-induced climate change. We are seeing big changes with our winter temperatures, and that means getting warmer earlier, just like we have this year. So March 30th is the average bloom date. This, of course, means a lot of things for tourism. We have a lot of folks that head to Washington, D.C. to see this. They better move up their
I was about to
flights.
say, it's one of those things that's hard to plan. If you want to see it, you got to be able to move agile and move quickly.
Exactly.
All right, Angie, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app, or follow us on social media.